Let's talk some defensive line. All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus, our final installment looking at this roster before training camp, and it is defensive line time.
Unless we do special teams, which
not going to happen.
Oh my God.
Breaking news, we're not going to talk about them.
Yeah, D-line left to talk about. Again, very similar to the O-line in my estimation here. Just how this whole thing is going to shake out remains to be seen. Before we hop in that, be sure to remember, this video is brought to you by Liftbridge Brewing Company. For God's sakes. Right after this video, head down to the liquor store, pick yourself up a delicious 6-12 pack, whatever you need of your finest Liftbridge brew that they have there at your local liquor store, or head over to Stillwater, check out the brewery itself. It is beautiful.
Beautiful, delicious. What else could you ask for? Just like our defensive line. And also be sure to give us a sub. Let's get to 8,000. Hashtag Liftbridge in the comments for a chance to win that Liftbridge 75 bones. Let's do this. So you said offensive line is like, this is like the offensive line. I think it's completely different.
No, I just don't know where these guys are going to play. I know you don't agree with me on this. I think a lot of the guards could be moved around. If there's an injury, the things to be shuffled. And with this new 3-4 defense, I don't know. I think it's a lot of the same thing goes. Where are these guys going to end up? Who's going to play nose? Is it going to be Horrible Harry? Is it going to be Delvin? We don't know yet how this whole thing is going to look. So we'll talk it through and maybe we can come up with something.
Yeah, I did a little research to help us solve the mystery. Ed Donatel, our new defensive coordinator, he's very consistent, at least as far as how many people he keeps at defensive line and also linebacker. This isn't his first rodeo. He's going to shuffle guys around, but when you look at the guys he keeps, he generally keeps 5 defensive linemen. That's a lot different than last year. We kept 10 defensive linemen last year. He usually keeps 5, maybe 6, and then he loads up on linebackers. So he keeps 9 to 10 linebackers, and this is consistent. And also, Mike Pettin on the squad right now, same thing, 5 defensive linemen. So we need to prepare ourselves that we're going to keep 5 defensive linemen.
Well, and you look at this defensive line group, it's a lot like the tackles where there's not a lot of guys I really want to keep.
That's why 5 makes it better.
Yeah, it does actually. Looking at it at first when you said 5, I'm like, that's not very many. But look at the depth chart. I think 5 might be the right number when you look at who these guys are. Obviously, I'm assuming the outside linebackers are grouped with the linebackers in the scenario you're talking about.
Yep.
Okay. So that definitely helps.
Just top heavy. Our starters right now, Horrible Harry, Dalvin Thompson, Armand Watts. I would assume these guys are going to be shoo-ins to make the squad, especially with 5. I'm very excited about these 3. Horrible Harry, I think, is going to be fantastic. We're going to shuffle these guys around. Is there really much more to say about them?
I just don't know. Is Thompson going to stay in the middle? Is he going to move outside? I think there could be some shuffling. Like Harrison, he's pretty much been inside too. So one of those guys will be playing a fairly new spot. But Armand Watts, the guy I'm excited to see as a 5-tech. I think he's going to do very, very well in that role. I think I love these 3 guys. Whoever they use them, I love this threesome.
Same thing we've said with a lot of positions. Top heavy, not much depth. One of these guys goes down, like a Tomlinson goes down. There's not much behind him. Same with any of these guys.
If Tomlinson's a nose, he goes down, and you move Phillips in the middle, then you got a new guy playing 5-tech. And that's the question. Who is it going to be? James Lynch, Stacey Atumweo. Those are your 2. If you're really going to look at the next 2 down the line, I'm guessing those are the favorites to be around. James Lynch, to me, I know he played 3-4 and in college, but all they really have him do is rush the passer. He's got to stop the run too, so I don't know if he's a great fit for the scheme or not.
Yeah, he is definitely will be on the bubble. Let's just go from the bottom. Let's just rattle off some guys. Julian Taylor, guy hasn't played since 2019. I fully expect him not to be on the team. Stevenson, the big man, undrafted free agent. If they're keeping 5, that is quite the hill. And feel free to chime in on any of this. But
no, I agree so far.
TJ Smith, undrafted in 2020, practice squatter with the Chargers. Ty McGill, he's at least played. I don't know. That's not great. Jonathan Bullard and Jaylen Twyman, James Lynch and Atumweo. I think that is where we're going to find our final 2.
Yeah, so obviously the first 3 are safe. We talked about Atumweo, 5th-round pick, not 100% guaranteed in at this point either. I want him to be, and I'm assuming he's going to be, but again, he's a 5th-round pick. If he looks like shit in the preseason, they're not going to keep him. James Lynch, Jaylen Twyman. That's where it comes down to. I think those three battle for the last 2 spots, unless there's some shocking development. Jonathan Bullard plays out of his head. Who was the guy a couple years ago when the Vikings kept it? No one thought was going to keep. He came over from Buffalo.
I know what you're talking about.
Somehow he made the team. I think he actually had a good preseason.
I think he had a weird name.
I thought it was like Ed Johnson or something like that. But
Jonathan Bullard, it could be a wild card here. I mean, former 3rd rounder, he can play inside. He's just like these other guys. He's got versatility along the offensive line. He can play multiple spots, and there might be enough intrigue there.
Well, and let's do that. So I think there actually could be 3 wild cards. Looking at the bottom of this depth chart, it's Bullard, Julian Taylor, a guy you said hasn't played for 3 years, but obviously Kwesi likes him, likes what he saw. Maybe he comes back. I don't know. Maybe it's this one last shot. They end up making a movie about him, and he has a great year. I mean, that's a wild card. And Tyra Stevenson's my last wild card. Very, very deep wild card. I liked his film that we saw when we signed him. He's a big man who can actually move, so he does have some potential. So those are the 3 wild cards. I don't expect any of them to make the team. But if you're looking at 3 wild, I mean, just really, really out there options, maybe one of those guys emerges and shocks the world.
I'm trying to cheat to see who we kept, but I can't look. But I was listening. I agree with everything. So 5 of them. It's going to be a sad day. Let's, Eddie
Yarbrough.
Oh, that's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
I was thinking of a different player, but yeah, Eddie Yarbrough was definitely one.
So let's get to the next 3, and this is where the battle is. I think if they are going to keep 5, 2 of these guys are going to stick. One of these guys is not going to stick. And Jaylen Twyman, a guy to watch here, he's really your ideal backup at nose. Just a big old bowling ball of a man who can create interior pressure as well as stuffing the run. Coming off that year where he was shot 6 times, twice in the buttocks. Good to see him healthy. And I loved his college film. You know, I was over this guy in the draft a couple years ago. I thought he was going to go in like round 3. We got him around 6. I was so damn happy.
Everybody's gonna be pulling for Twyman, and the dude was damn good at Pitt. I mean, he was at the time. You know, we've missed on a few of these where we thought it was an absolute steal, but he's coming into a very good situation. So Twyman is he's my underdog. I want him on this team. I want to see what he can do. I want to see him get after the quarterback like he did at Pittsburgh.
And you know how much we stay in the 3-4 as opposed to going to 4-3. I think that would really kind of bode a lot into keeping Twyman over at James Lynch. I think he's actually a better fit for the 3-4 than Lynch is. So I like Twyman and Astasi again, being the draft pick. I think he's got a leg up on these other 2. So if I was going to really go final 5, if we're going to do it, I think it's going to be Phillips, Tomlinson, Watts, Atumweo, and Twyman.
Wow. Just 2 guys that have never played a snap. I don't see that. I see Twyman going to the practice squad, getting his first year. I mean, he's a 6, 7, whatever. I definitely Atumweo, and I think James Lynch actually gets it. I think he's a guy that their hope in this 3-4 can get after the quarterback.
Well, one thing we have to bring up, and it's just because the rumor won't go away, it came up again this week, is the Ndamukong Suh talk. Apparently the Vikings and the Raiders are still talking to his people. And this is the reason why. You look at this depth chart. A guy like Suh makes a lot of sense. He can play that nose. He can play on the end too. So having an experienced veteran like that who probably still has a few good games left in his body, it might make 2 of these guys expendable, and they bring him in instead.
Yeah, I think Ed Donatil is just so excited about Zadarius Smith, Daniel Hunter, Harrison Smith, Eric Kendricks, getting Hicks. All of a sudden he's like, I haven't looked at our defensive line yet. This depth is horrible. I need Suh now. I love it. Bring him in. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, it would suck, but I mean, again, you're going to probably be able to get Atumweo and Twyman on the practice squad if you want to keep 2 veterans, Suh and Lynch. So you're probably be safe that way. You can develop these guys, and the way the practice squad works now, I mean, you can call these guys up and sign them. So it's not like it used to be where it was kind of you're done for the year, you're on the practice squad, that's it. So I'm not going to let these Suh rumors go away until he signs with somebody else.
Suh! Let us know in the comments. Who do you want? Who do you think's getting the axe? Maybe a surprise cut, and definitely hashtag LiftBridge in the comments.
Hashtag LiftBridge. Maybe I'll put a couple in there myself.
That's cheating.
Oh my God. All right. Well, this isn't cheating. Most of the insect noises you hear at night are those bugs or little toads either having sex or trying to get some.